I wanted people to feel like this was an extension of our home. Every piece of this property I've touched in one way or another. It's just beautiful. I just saw people coming here like writers and artists and being renewed and having a sense of inspiration. I think this is what Greeno does for people, just to be able to hear the trees and the grass underfoot, listening to the birds and seeing a deer. I think that all just brings over an overwhelming feeling of peace. And that's what it does for me. I started off as a hairstylist, worked for a company called Supercuts. Met Dave when I became a vice president of company stores. We just knew that we wanted to have more land and find something that people could not develop around us. So we found this piece of property and we focused on being a cattle operation and a horse operation, and then into the guest ranch and resort business. Dave drove the vision, and then my background's operations, so I was always a big advocate for staff and our guests. And then Larry, whose background is marketing and advertising, was able to really develop the brand and who we are today. Greeno came to be because Dave was wanting to bring in another camp. And he loved the intimacy of a camp and how people would get to know each other. We then came up with the idea of evolving into another home product, but make it feel like a camp. Our objective was to always make it about intimacy and connection. There was no doubt in my mind I wanted the outside to be brought inside. So we wanted to keep it simple and not make the space very busy, so people could just focus on looking out at the trees and sitting out on the deck. I had the great fortune of working with two really amazing interior designers. One was Diane Whiting. She helped us with our big timber homes, and then from there I just took the ball and ran with it. She just taught me to trust my own style and my own sense, and if you asked me what my style is, I couldn't tell you. It's a feeling. We just know that that represents us. I choose things that I want our guests to have a reaction from. We went to our first market and already had 60% of everything already chosen for the homes. Then we started to shift in different subtle directions. We got a curved couch that we just thought was brilliant for the round house.
Yeah, we had to build the house around that couch.
Basically, because I wasn't going to give up that couch. If you have a chance to look at the bed at the treehouse, it's actually an iron bed that looks like a tree. And it just fits into the treehouse so perfectly. We don't really buy in bulk. And we also try to find small vendors. This is made by a woman in Utah. She hand makes these. So to have them in our home, you feel her love being passed on to us.
It's grays, blacks that we were working with, and so that could get really boring. So that's when you bring in the different blankets, the different leather, the different textures, just to make it interesting. And then we have our pop of bright colors with Walter that make it even more fun, more unexpected.
I was in downtown Missoula and I saw that and I was like, this is brilliant. Let's have this in our home. She came here on property and she actually stamped our trees. Everything has a story, and to work with really cool partners and artists like we've had, I want to be able to showcase that. What's validating is that our guests the public appreciate the love that we put into this. We're very proud of it. We're proud of the architecture. We're proud of the story of how it came to be. This was, for me, Dave's last statement of his impact on the resort. Literally, 2 days before he passed away, he was working on the social house. I think he would be very, very proud and very happy of what we accomplished here. I think he would be very pleased that what he started, Larry and I were able to finish. I didn't know I was ever going to own a resort. I didn't know I was ever going to follow an interior design. Didn't know I was going to fall in love with horses, but I just allowed myself to trust that that was the path I was going on. I'm Nadine Lipson, owner of the resort at Paws Up and the Greeno.